Hey, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Back in the flow after a lengthy absence, I would say. Summertime, vacations, things to do, people have lives, what have you. Back here with Brian, Massey's Main Entertainment, Randall Nelson, and Doc. We're going to pick up where we left off with a series we did from the 70s. This is starting 1980. We plan to go through the 80s one at a time. Each year, we each compile a 50 favorite songs, some parameters as far as you have to have X amount of songs from particular albums. We rank them in order 1 to 50. Tonight, we're going to show the top half of each of our lists, 25 songs, and then we'll show you the compilation at the end based on a point system we've developed and see what comes out on top. So tonight's order is going to be Brian, Randy, Doc, and myself. Let's jump right in. If we don't, I'll put up the chart, which is Brian's. Let me know when it's on the screen. If it goes on the screen, guys, let me know. All right, Brian, 25. We'll work our way to the top and see what you got.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, everybody should know here for sure. You'll Accompany Me, Seeger, games people play. Like, I think it was one of the first 3 45s that I actually bought. Yeah. Then we got The Police, Devo's Whip It, who, they were earlier in their career. They were really considered a punk band and kind of crossed over into that new wave sound a little bit in the early 80s. Doc should appreciate my AC/DC selection here. Rich should appreciate my Bruce Springsteen, at least getting some in there. Maybe the only ABBA song I'll ever have on any list. The Winner Takes It All. Another Nail in My Heart from Squeeze. I think that one's from Argy Bargy. I think is the album it's from. Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell. I think that's a really great album. Turn Me Loose, Loverboy. I Will Follow U2. A lot of people think that that's their favorite song by U2. Don't Stand So Close to Me. Hall & Oates, Kiss on My List. I remember listening to that first time on a K-Tel album. I mean, that's how old we're starting to date ourselves. And then Steely Dan's Hey 19 and Hell's Bells, Doc. I know, big fan of AC/DC. Just missed my top 10 though. But I appreciate the album.
Break into the top 10.
All right, number 10 is Games Without Frontiers from Peter Gabriel. I think his first 4 albums were all self-titled albums, so they're identified by like Melt, Car, Scratch, all sorts of different other names. They're identified on the side. Great tune though. Romeo and Juliet, maybe my favorite. It probably is my favorite song by Dire Straits for sure. So it had to make the top 10 here. Misunderstanding. This is from Abacab, if I'm not mistaken. Sail Away, Sweet Sister. This is that unsung song on Queen's The Game, which is actually sung by Brian May instead of Freddie Mercury. One of my favorite songs by John Mellencamp's at number 6, Ain't Even Done With the Night. Kind of a relatively unknown song for like people who've become recent fans of him. I've got The Cure at number 5, A Forest. I think it's from 17 Seconds. It's one of my top 3 favorite Cure albums. Still Rock and Roll to Me from Glass Houses, an absolute classic. Against the Wind, timeless song. I knew that was going to factor high on my list. I just wasn't really sure where. But these two here, Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads, from Remain in Light, is an absolute, banger of a song. And Rapture, just this weird combination of her neo-punk style and a little bit of rapping, which, she gives a big shout out to Grandmaster Flash, from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, one of the early hip hop artists that there was, and a nice shout out by her. But that song was played to death for us when I was growing up. We were at the swimming pool all summer long, and they must have played Rapture 3 times in 2 hours every time you were there. So massive hit. So that's my top 10.
Good one.
Very good. Any surprises? Any enter surprises about his list? I mean, it is a Brian list. It's very diverse, no question.
I was kind of surprised why it was number 1 a little bit.
Yeah, I knew he was a big fan of that song, so I wasn't as surprised. But I like to see the Springsteens and the Mellencamp's and the Seegers of the world on there, and Billy Joel as well. So very cool. We're having a phone issue.
That sounds like Billy in the back.
Little AC/DC in there, Doc.
Yeah, I got all
Got
that. There's a spattering of songs I see on the list there that I have the same kind of spattering of quite a few. So placement's
Right.
another. So that's it. It's top 50 in 1980. You know, could have went to anybody's
Right.
time.
All right, let's go to Randy's list here, and we'll go real quickly to
There we
that. Or is that Doc's list? That sounds
That
like
looked like
Doc's.
Doc.
There's Randy's list.
Randy.
Sorry about
There we
that.
go.
All right.
All right.
Well, my 25 started off with Motel Matches off Elvis's R&B album. Then for Doc, I got And the Cradle Will Rock from Van Halen. Uh, Washington Bullets, Clash political song. Pulling Muscles from Michelle, just a great pop hit from Squeeze. Stolen Car, I think one of Springsteen's best haunting songs, I would say. Then 20, I got Vagabond Moon, Willie Nile, his debut. If you like Steve Forbert or John Hyatt, I think you might like Willie Nile. Call It Alone from Jackson Brown, kind of about when your love's not reciprocated. Ashes to Ashes, a great Bowie tune. Let My Love Open the Door from Pete Townsend. Pete did a little bit better in his solo work than Roger Daltrey did. Arc of a Diver, off one of the title track off one of I think his best album, Stevie Winwood. I got Over the Rainbow, Jerry Lee Lewis. Sorry, Judy, but this is the best version. Then maybe my favorite cover song, Stop Your Sobbing, a Kinks song done by the Pretenders. I actually bought this 45 when it came out. And Redemption Song from Bob Marley, great sentiment in this song. And I've got Romeo and Juliet here. It could have easily been in my top 10. And That's Entertainment was the song that kind of turned me on to the Jam.
Very cool.
All right. And you
I
can
like
see
that.
a lot of different tunes here so far. Let's get into the top 10.
All right, number 10, I got Back in Black. Doc might like that.
Yeah.
The song kind of relates to that they were in mourning over the death of Bon Scott. And some of their best riffs, I think, are in this one. And I got Somebody Got Murdered by The Clash. The song kind of relates to how random sometimes murder is, how over insignificant things, too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then I got Double Sidewalk. Probably my affinity for Graham Parker. I think this is just one of his catchiest tunes off the underrated The Up Escalator, which Springsteen also sings on that album. 7, Against the Wind, Bob Seger. He had that on his list, but he has that great line. I wish I didn't know now what I didn't know then. My number 6 is Over You, Roxy Music. Kind of has this feathered instrumental track that kind of creates this haunting love song. Just beautiful. It's one of my favorite Roxy Music songs. 5, I Will Follow. I think Brian had that on his list. Just has that aggressive guitar by the edge. It just kind of wants to make you take notice. Is what that song does. Number 4, I've got On the Nickel by Tom Waits, an anthem for the down and out. I saw him do this on David Letterman, and that's when I really became a fan, and I had to find the album that this song was on. My number 3, Just to Walk That Little Girl Home, Mink DeVille. No one can write a romantic ballad like Willie DeVille, the lead singer, and he kind of puts it over with that smoky voice that he has. My number 2, I've got Tunnel of Love, Dire Straits. This is my favorite Dire Straits song, probably. Great, sprawling epic that takes you on this journey, and I love how it really slows down to almost a whisper before it fires back up. And, of course, great Mark Knopfler guitar on that one. And then my number 1 is The River, Bruce Springsteen. It's a great song about longing when it seems that your fate has already been decided.
Great.
It's a very cool list. Yep. Very diverse. Some things I definitely know are Randy on here, and other ones are a little bit of a surprise to me, honestly. So,
yeah,
very cool.
Put it exactly that way. Well said, Brian.
The biggest surprise is the Jerry Lee Lewis version of Over the Rainbow.
Yeah, that's
Sure
like
is.
what? But
Great.
well, you do what you got to do.
just
Great
the
piano on
fact,
it.
just the fact that Jerry Lee Lewis shows up in 1980 is a surprise. I mean, he's a 50s kind of artist in my book, but
Right.
I don't know the song, so I can't really comment. I like Judy's version quite a bit.
It's a tough one to
Great
carry the
list.
list.
Yeah, if you got Graham Parker in there and
Yeah.
Mink DeVille, and Tom Waits, it's a Randy list right away. And the Clash, of course. So a lot of staples from Randy's favorites. Let's go to Doc. I'm going to try and
This will look
Get it
like
on
just
here.
like this looks like it all came off one album.
there you go,
Right.
Doc. Hit it up.
There you go. Starting it off. Back in Black, the title track from AC/DC. So, yeah, we've talked about it before. Highway to Hell's my favorite. This is my second favorite. So, 1980, I was cranking out a lot of AC/DC in my life, one year after the other. So, and Back in Black is a staple. Still is. Misunderstanding by Genesis. One of these bands I just like more and more as you move
Yeah.
along. I'm going to find that as I do that a few of these songs. But Misunderstanding is a great tune, man. So, underrated to me, man. I like The Game by Queen. I like the album, and I have quite a few off of here. And some of them, you can see back to back here. I got Play the Game, the title track off of it. It's a freaky tune, man. Starts off kind of psychedelic, almost spacey, and goes right with it. Followed up, I can't get around it, man. Another one, Bites the Dust. Yeah. Even now, when I still hear it, man, I'm tapping my foot. So it has something, man, and that gets props for me, man. It's still a catchy tune.
Consider it's bass driven, right? I mean,
Oh,
how
yeah.
often is a song bass driven? Yeah.
Not too often. You're right. Somebody says, "Give me a bass line from a song." You might hear this. Games Without Frontiers from Gabriel. It's a great tune, man. This might be the thing that you get the other side there. The watching the wheels there, John and Yoko. I think they got a couple off here that are still with me now, and it's. I didn't think of it that way then, and I think about it a lot more now. So that's why it's here. There's that. Everybody Wants Some there from Van Halen, man. So Women and Children First, man. It's a smoking album from them too. So they'll make more than one appearance on this list for me. Once in a Lifetime. Talking Heads. Probably got around like 10 or 15 songs that I really like, and I really like this one. So it's going to make my list in 80. Just like Starting Over. Back to John and Yoko again, man. It's still in my wheelhouse for that kind of sound that I want to hear. But if I want to change it up, I just put on Living After Midnight from Judas Priest right after it, man. So that's okay with me too. So it's a rocking tune, man. Tattoo, man. She's So Cold. Stones. Underrated Stones tune, and I think it's a great song. It's another catchy as hell, man. Springsteen, Out the Street. And this is the follow-up, right? I was Born to Run, and The River comes in my life, and that's both brother driven for me. So the catchy songs are the catchy songs for me from Springsteen. That's the way I would put it. There's my Rush making an appearance, Free Will. I'm a Rush guy, man, especially at this time here, 70s and 80s. I like Rush, and I could have a lot of Rush on here, but you guys wouldn't put my list up if I did, so I narrowed it down. Call Me from Blondie. I think it's one of the staples from her, man, and you could have had a few out of here, and you had Rapture before, Brian, and yeah, man. Another catchy tune, still is. Props to you, man. It's a great song for 1980. It's a great song in 2025, man. Hungry Heart. Springsteen makes an appearance off the riff. So just outside my top 10. Sorry, Rich. But,
Hey, I'll live.
I just had some other guys that just inched it out.
There is the top 10.
There's the top 10. There's Townsend, like you said, Randy. Let My Love Open the Door, man. You're right. Probably pumped out a little bit better. As much as I like Under a Raging Moon from Daltrey there. This is, Townsend was a different level there, but I get sometimes the other way around here. AC/DC's Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution, man, is just a rock song, man. That's right in my wheelhouse, man. You can see that as we go, right? I'm going to follow that up with Crazy. There's Ozzy, a staple. Still is. Randy Rhoads. Those two were meant to be together. If it wasn't going to be in Black Sabbath, man, those two dudes were meant to be together. That's for sure. This might be my favorite Van Halen tune, man. That's like a rock tune, man. There's a few, I don't know. But In the Cradle Will Rock, number 7 for me. Eddie, man. Women and Children First. Like I said, it's a smoking album, man. It's got 2 in my top 25. I think the love that we have for this song, Sail Away Sweet Sister, is mutual here, Brian. I think we've talked about it in the past, and that's right there for me, man. It's a great song. It just is. And like I said, I had a lot of love for that album, man. I think The Game has a lot of good songs on there. There's, the catchy, crazy little thing, Need Your Loving and stuff like that. But Don't Try Suicide, even a great tune, man, if you want the truth. So
Yeah. Good album.
Yeah. Number 5, Ashes to Ashes. I think Randy had this earlier, and totally agree, man. It's a great Bowie song, man. Still kind of kicking it with that 70s freaky kind of vibe. And you watch the video and you'll see it. So still going on with the storytelling, man. Ashes to Ashes is Bowie. That's what that is. You guys really like that other Bob Seger song. And that's a great song. Don't get me wrong, man. You'll Accompany Me is like my hidden gem from Bob Seger that I just go back to all the time. It's not a hidden gem, but people aren't throwing it on a lot of Bob Seger lists either. I think it's a great song. That's how much I like it. That's the way I got to put it. Rush, The Spirit of Radio, number 3. The greatest rock pop song of all time. That's what I would tell you. That's my take on it, man. Put down the windows, go for the drive. Put on that album, put on that song. You'll be fine. That's my take. Hell's Bells. This is flip a coin. Shoot the Thrill, maybe, again, AC/DC is maybe my second favorite AC/DC song. And Hell's Bells is going to follow really close. So there's a lot of AC/DC in my life, man, especially at this era. I'm going to put them where they belong on my list. That's at 1 and 2.
This whole list is a surprise, right, guys?
Shocker, right?
Never would have thought it.
Come on. This is so Doc. It's all
It
Doc.
is.
There's not a surprise on here.
Like
Maybe
that.
Blondie.
Blondie
Maybe.
showing up there on the list. Or
Blondie number 12. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
look at the other songs. Ozzy and
Yeah.
Van Halen and Rush and AC/DC
Yeah.
and Queen. I mean, Bowie even. We know he's a big Bowie fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, you guys were all over at my house. And that top 10
Completely
came on.
Doc.
You weren't leaving. You're hanging out.
You got three AC/DC songs in the top 10. It's
Without
Doc.
a doubt. For
And we
sure.
couldn't squeeze the Who in that the particular year, so Townsend makes an appearance. I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, there you go.
Unveiled. I mean, there's just rock and roll through hard
That's
rock.
me, man. That's me there, especially in 1980.
Yeah, no question. All right, that's cool. I like that. Let me go to my list. Mine's a little more commercially oriented, mainstream, whatever you want to say. Pussy rock. I don't care. It's what I like. We're going to call it the way it is. I'm going to go with Lennon and Yoko, Just Like Starting Over. Doc had it on his list. I put it at 25.
Yep.
Genesis, I like Genesis with Phil Collins, commercially successful. And I think the tunes work. The albums are all good. I got Turn It On Again at 24. There's My Hard Edge, Back in Black, title track, AC/DC at 23. Mystery Achievement is one of my favorite Pretender song, a really rockin' tune from Chrissy and the band. I put that at 22. I've got She's So Cold, Doc, you called it, underrated Stones tune. Definitely a favorite of the 80s for me. Brian had this one as well, Ain't Even Done With the Night from Mellencamp, an early tune in his repertoire. I've got Hey 19 at number 19 by
Nice.
design. That Steely Dan. It got Her Strut from Sear, another one of those songs that doesn't immediately come to mind, but I just like the whole vibe of that song. Back-to-back Springsteen at 16 and 17, Out in the Street, and Cadillac Ranch, both off the River album. Fantastic songs. Great in concert as well. I've got Paul Simon's Late in the Evening, which he did on the concert in Central Park. It was off the One Trick Pony album from 1980. Joe Walsh, a personal favorite guitarist of mine. I like that rockin' little ditty called All Night Long. That's at 14. You'll Accompany, there you go, Doc, at 13. Bob Seger off the Against the Wind album. Call Me at 12. Sounds familiar. Somebody else had that at 12. Doc did, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. That's from American Gigolo. Call Me. Also came out in 1980. It was a single. Hell's Bells at number 11. I just can't deny.
Same as me.
the song. Yeah, look at it. So top 10 stuff. Let's jump in. I've got the YouTube classic I Will Follow. I agree with what Randy said about that guitar. It gets your attention right away. Watching the Wheels, sentimental pick from John and Yoko. That album's released a week after he was murdered, something like that. Just a heartbreak. 1980. Brass in Pocket, Pretenders' big hit at number 8. You Shook Me All Night Long. I know it's a commercially fun song, but it's one that really stands the test of time at number 7. Police, can't say enough about them in the early 80s. Don't stand so close to me. The lyricism with Nabokov and the little girl, the Lolita references. I like that stuff. So that's number 6. Number 5, On the Nickel. I watched that same Letterman show with Tom Waits playing the piano and singing that song about the homeless on 5th Street in LA. It just hit home with me. Great lyrics, great performance. My favorite Tom Waits song by a mile. Number 4 is Games Without Frontiers by Mr. Gabriel. Will Wade with Lottie. They have the whole name game they play. Wonderful stuff. Once in a Lifetime, my favorite Talking Heads tune at number 3. Springsteen's title track Off the River at number 2. And a Bob Seger title track Against the Wind. Edges out Bruce this time around. It could have went either way. So there's the top 25 from me.
All right.
I think it's great.
It's a rich list.
Yeah, well, and more than that, he did dip his toes into other genres.
Yes, he
It's
did.
not like he just stuck to a specific genre. You dipped your your toes into some other stuff like Blondie and AC/DC, making it this high. That's pretty good. I mean,
Sure it is.
Those are my favorites. I mean, we can't have the time to look at the bottom half of the list. That's why I wanted to
right.
highlight these 25 songs. But I think everybody's got their own stylistic kind of list that fits their favorite of music at this time, and it's apparent with each reading of these songs. Everybody stacked it with what they like the best, and that's the whole point of this. All right, we're going to bring up the overall consensus list here just to see where everything plays out. We talked about all these songs, but as you can see, Bob Seger's Against the Wind is the only song of 128 that were mentioned that have 3 top 10s. We have a 1, a 3, and a 7. So it accumulated enough points to grab the number 1 spot, followed by the Talking Heads at Once in a Lifetime.
Yeah.
Brian didn't have The River, so that hurt it point-wise. So that brings it down to 3rd place. Let's see, U2 song and Gabriel finished 4 and 5. It was on all 4 lists, although some were, buried a little bit. But like I said, this is our individual list. Hell's Bells came in at number 6. Don't Stand So Close to Me at 7.
Nice.
Back in Black at 8. You'll Accompany Me made a nice little run here at number 9, and Hungry Heart at 10. So that's the consensus top 10. We just want to go down the list. You can see Romeo and Juliet, On the Nickel, Ashes to Ashes. I'm not going to mention all these that were talked about. I'll just scroll through, and you can there's Unity Right, which did not get any top 25s, but it did have an appearance on 3 different lists, a 30, a 37, and a 27. So it made a decent run here by Mr. Joel. What else is on here that we did not discuss? Fire Lake by Seeger had a couple. Bob Seger did very well in 1980. Ace of Spades by Motorhead was on Brian Doc's list. There you go.
Yes, Doc, right?
You got it, buddy. Still
Charlie Surf by The Clash was on Brian and Randy's list. The ever-present Kool and the Gang with Celebration at 49 and 47. A couple of that's played at every wedding, and I've known the man. It's gotten a lot, but it's still a cool song. What else is on here? There's Over the Rainbow. Well, as you can see, we had, I forget, 75 or 80 that were only on one list, so they're going to be down on the list here.
Oh yeah,
diverse. All these songs that we're looking at now were only on one list, including Whip It, which is a classic, but Point Blank, another Springsteen favorite of mine, just missed at 26.
Can I make Yeah, can I make a quick request? Can you guys like send me your list as well? Because some of these songs I'd like to listen to if I'm unfamiliar with them, you know?
Sure.
I'm going to
Yeah.
send you the whole master list, Brian.
Oh,
so
great. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
so you'll
I'd
have
like to see
everything.
your
There's
list.
the cars showing up at Touch and Go. Doc had that, or Doc had that one.
Yep.
Beautiful Boy by Lennon and Ono. The Tide is High, another Blondie classic, showed up on my list.
Yep.
Drive All Night, Springsteen, Deep Cut.
Nice.
Journey, Any Way You Want It, made JoJo by Skaggs. Yeah, a lot of these songs are they deserve mention because they're great songs, but the competition stuff. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You Make My Dreams.
Nice.
Neil Diamond. We knew Doc would have the Neil Diamond classic.
Look at that. There you go. Sure it is, man. The top 50 of 1980.
And there you can see 128 songs. Somebody's trying to.
Very cool.
Anyway, that's the list. And Steel, you've heard that on every elevator and every mall from time until infinity. So I
All
like
the
this.
yacht rock.
I
Yacht
like
rock era.
yacht rock. Call me a moron, but I like it. It didn't make- Anyway, that's pretty much where we're at for 1980. We're going to take a look, hopefully once a week for a while, and do these 80s years and come up with a little diversity. I expect by the time we get to the end of the 80s, we are going to be maybe 150 songs at 200.
180.
Probably. Yeah.
It's going to be wild, Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Subscribe to Massey's Main Entertainment, Randall Nelson. We'll be back. Leave some comments, some feedback. Put your own top 10 list if you like. We'd like to hear other people's opinions. And whether you like this format, whether you like this series, anything positive would be appreciated. So for the guys, this is Rich. We'll talk to you next time. Later.